Hey there, hello there. It's Jeff Cutastrophe welcoming you to another sports catastrophe video. Now, everyone says, wait a minute, you're doing a live sports catastrophe? Well, today is March the 3rd, 2021, and basically this is being taped in a sense, like live, because I couldn't find a fantastic event for March the 3rd, so I'm like, screw it, I'll do like a live video and basically talk to you about why I'm going to do a live video and in lieu of like losing a sports catastrophe video because I don't have it on this day. I do have a birthday boy one, so that's good. It's been a year since I lost my dad to heart failure from stemming from an operation on his hip. And he died at age 73 and all that. And it's so sad and all that. Uh I don't remember if I put a YouTube video about how sad I was and all that, but like it takes a lot out of you and all of that when you lost a parent and all that. I can totally get people who've lost their parents at such a young age and all that. I mean, I was only 34 when I lost my dad, so I can attest to people like athletes even losing a parent when they were in high school and or in college and all that. But of course, me and my dad had some great times together and all that. Like we watched a lot of sport. We watched some sports together. We watched well when we did the Blue Jays game. Like the Diamond family would go. Some of us would go down to Oakville to have a lunch at my Aunt Carol and Uncle John's before going to see the Blue Jays play whoever and all that. I did a list of my top 10 Blue Jay games I've been to. So basically, I'll put a link to the video down in the description below and basically say what everything happens to be. So yeah, so basically yeah, watching the Blue Jays games with my dad, and then one famous game, as I said in the eulogy to my dad, was Game 6 of the 2002 conference semis between the Leafs and Senators. If the Leafs lost, they would be out of the playoffs. If they won, they forced a Game 7 a couple of days later. And I remember watching that game with my dad because my mom at the time was working at the nephew nursing home in New Hamburg, close to where I live. So basically, yeah. And then we were bonding, like watching the Leafs and all that. Dad didn't show his true colors of what sports teams he cheered for, but he was a Blue Jays fan, of course. I think he wanted to be a Leaf fan because his kid is a stone cold sports fan and all that. And my dad didn't discourage my love of sports and all that. He always gave me the sports section to read. He liked reading the newspaper. He would always give me the sports section. I would always go to the living room to read it and basically get involved with the stats and all that. And basically, yeah, I'm so happy as can be and all that. And you know, so a lot of questions are probably being asked, like, how's your family dealing with this? And the fact of the matter is, my brother and my sister are dealing it in different ways and such. They're very close to my mom. Like my brother on weekends sometimes would head up to the family farm to just check in on mom, keep her company and all that. And Christine will always call my mom from work and all that just to chat and make sure she's okay and all that. And then basically, with me, I call less often, but I always have, I have always have faith in my sister and brother that they're the ones who basically have to take care of the house and everything once my mom dies, and I hope that doesn't happen for a long time. But basically, they'll know what to do, and basically, I'll have some input, but not too much. And basically, they'll just try to make sure that I'm taken good care of and all that. I can't live fully by myself. I'm not completely independent. I'm independent to a fault, but so logically, yeah, my family is, tight knit and all that, and we all love each other. We all care for each other and all that. Ed comes by every so often to the house, to our house, to the house, I live in now because all that, just make sure it's okay. And the fact of the matter is that, yeah, they've done very well for themselves, making sure everything was cool and all that. Now the question on everyone's lips, some of the lips people, is how are you doing? Jeff, how are you doing with this? Well, given the worst feeling, and I know it seems selfish and all that, and I'll take responsibility for mistakes, but for Dad to die just days before I started my venture at Canadian Tire, it just hurt. I know logically I should have taken the time off and then just come back, started Canadian Tire the week later. But I didn't think Dad would have wanted it that way. My dad would have wanted me to go to work and see what I can do by myself. Obviously, I couldn't go to work the day of my dad's visitation and all that. I had to work. But Canadian Tire made sure I got paid for that. And it was funny because that was my second shift at Canadian Tire, and basically I had to lose it because of my dad's visitation. The funeral was the next day, but thankfully I didn't have to work that day as is. But I went to work the next day on the Friday, and it's like, all that. And yes, I do break down a little bit at work at times because of my dad's death and all that. And I just wanted my dad to be proud of me and all that. I know he probably is, and I know he's probably helping me out from above, dealing with my Canadian Tire stuff and all that. But, it's hard losing my dad and all that. Because, I always thought in his eyes I was a screw up and all that. Because, I was supposed to be in the sports field. I was supposed to be doing whatever it takes in the sports field and to be famous and to basically, be a stepping stone and an advocate for autism because, use my popularity as a platform to deal with autism. But of course, that doesn't happen. And, I always felt terrible about myself. Like, I just felt like I'm a loser and all that. I know that technically I shouldn't be thinking of myself in a negative light. Like, I know that the YouTube videos don't really get a lot of views and all that. But, I do it for entertainment. I don't do it just to say, hey, look at my YouTube channel. And if you don't, you're scum. That's not me. You watch at your own discretion and all that. And, I have some good topics and all that. I'm very close to the Degrassi Reddit community, doing Degrassi videos whenever I can. And, of course, my new project, Sports Catastrophe, doing it every day for a while. Now, I will give you, I'll tell you a secret. There are days that I pre-tape like days behind it, days behind, like give it like 4 days notice or something like that, 4 days before that. But that's because, I always do it when I do the videos, I like to do it in the morning so that, it's fresh in my mind. But when you have a job from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m., like, you don't have time to do it live. So basically, yeah, so I just do it in advance and then, pray that nothing big happens that I have to comment on it. And I've been very lucky. The fact of the matter is that, March 3rd is a big anniversary because now this is the 1 year anniversary of me having the job at Canadian Tire. I started my Canadian Tire job March 3rd, 2020. Fuck. So basically, yeah, I've been there for a year. I was supposed to be field crew, and then in October, when someone got hurt, they said, well, let's get someone from within. And then they said that maybe I should try being like a warehouse person. And I'm not the strongest person in the world or the smartest. But you know what? They gave me a chance. I made them good. And, I think they wanted to see me fail. Like, I wouldn't blame them. They wanted to see me fail. But no, I didn't fail. I've basically been part of the warehouse crew since October, and I'm happy as can be and all of that. I still do fill crew stuff whenever possible, but they keep hiring for fill crew. I think they're just trying to fill that hole that basically I created by getting to warehouse and all that. At times I wish I was working in the warehouse at my other jobs and all that because, it'd be that's more behind the scenes and, my shyness and all that. I'm not completely shy, but I do have a tendency to not talk to people as much. And I do have a tendency to not tell people how I really feel about things. And I do have a tendency not to bug people, even though I should be bugging people. Because, I want to do things myself. I want to prove that I can do things independently and don't need like a fucking babysitter. I don't know why I said that, but, that's just me. But I like myself. And, The fact of the matter is that I'm a good person. No matter what a lot of people say, a lot of people probably say the stupid sports catastrophe thing and all that, he's no good. I know I blabber on and on, but I want to give people a chance to read up on it and basically give you facts that you may want to know. And people can absorb it like a sponge. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. Never, 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 never. So, yeah, that's the problem. I gotta give it to people that, like, you don't have to like my stuff. I never ask for that. Just watch my stuff. That's all I ask. So yeah, all about my sports and all that. And I still watch sports and all that. I've never lost that part of my life. I know I lost my dad, but I never lost that part of my life. And I'm glad that my dad got to be alive when the Raptors won the title, the first Canadian championship team in 26 years, which is frustrating, if you ask me. But yeah, now I know the Leafs are doing quite well and are doing great in the NHL and all that. Do you think my dad's behind this? Nah, I don't know. I don't want to say that. Maybe he is, maybe he isn't. But you know what? Whatever happens, happens. Like, I'm more at peace and all that. Maybe he might give the Leafs a Stanley Cup win. But then again, it'd be like, well, why didn't the powers that be do that last year for 2020? Because I know my dad died in February of 2020. So yeah, that's pathetic, don't you think? Yeah, I know it's wishful thinking, but you know what? Anything can happen. Hey, the Leafs are 17-4-2. I never thought they would be that fast. 17 wins in their first 23 games. I know everyone will say, oh, they're facing weak competition. But they lost twice to Ottawa. That's pathetic. That's the most pathetic thing around. Losing to Ottawa more than once? And they're supposed to be a crappy team. Ugh. But at least they beat Montreal so much that Julian got fired from head coach. So I'm happy about that. That's the only good thing about Ottawa is knocking off other teams so that the Leafs can do it and all that. I'm more pissed at Ottawa because, my brother's a fan of Ottawa. And where's the Ottawa stuff that ticks me off to no fucking end? That's the truth. So anyway, yeah. I think you guys don't want to see me do another diatribe and all that. So yeah, so I'm doing okay. And, I'm living life to the fullest as much as I can, don't have any terrible thoughts and all that. And hopefully the Leafs do well this year. And the New York Rangers. But anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond. I'll do